Hi everyone, it's Wendy. So our junk journal make for this month is making a slim journal just like this. This is the prototype I kind of like just quickly put together, and we're making it out of a tissue box. So this one here, I used the back part of the tissue box. That's where you kind of like push the things up. When your tissues get low, you push up under there. I should have another tissue box to show you, shouldn't I? You push up there and it brings up two little things just to raise the tissues a bit. So I decided just to see how easy it would be just to use the back part and one side. I really love this tissue box. Isn't that gorgeous? I just wanted to see how easy it was, so I kind of like done a prototype one, and I thought, yeah, look, why not? Let's have a go. So this is actually the top part of my tissue box, and this is one of the sides. Now they're not the same, but because we're making it a slim, I'm thinking maybe, what did I do that one at? That one is about 3.5 inches wide, and I could have gone a bit wider at the side because it is a little bit fragile just there, but I'll fix that one up by just putting like a fabric tab or something on it. Okay, so let's do that. I've got one of the sides of my tissue box, and that's 3.5 inches by that's by about 8 inches. Okay, so it's about 20.5 centimetres by about roughly 9 centimetres if you're working in centimetres. So the front cover needs to be the same width as the back. So all I'm going to do is just slice a little bit of the sides off. So with the front, where the opening is, the window, I've just laid the back on here because that's the right size I want, and I've just marked just around the sides and the top where I'm going to cut. Okay, so it should be pretty straightforward doing it that way. And then the front and the back will be exactly the same size. And the same width and the same height. Okay. Alright, so there's my front. Just get rid of these bits, and that is going to be my back, just like that. Alright, now because I really like the pattern on my tissue box, I'm going to leave that just as it is, okay, the front and the back, but on the inside here I'm just going to grab some book pages, and I'm just going to cover that. So just with my glue stick, I'm going to put some glue down here, and I'm just going to cover that one there, just like that. And cover the inside front just like that. So you just place your book pages down over those, and then you can just go and cut around. Now I do like to use my sewing machine to stitch around the edges on my journal covers, but if you don't have a sewing machine, just make sure to glue down right to the edge. Okay, I haven't glued down right to the edge of mine, and this here is a little bit crooked, I can tell, but you know, it's going to be a junk journal. Now what I was thinking, why I thought that we could make this month, is because I am actually going to use my slim journal for my December daily. I missed out on doing my December daily last year, and I really enjoyed it the year before. So I've worked out my prompts each day because it's just easier to have some prompts to go by. And I'm just going to do December daily, and I'm actually going to use this journal that I make, this slim journal. Alright, so what you're left with is that. Then you just need to just cut this out here, this window part, and I might use a ruler for that. I cut this one out without a ruler, and it's a little bit crooked, but that's alright. Okay, so just going to cut down the inside of my window, and it's got rounded edges, and I'm not very good at doing a rounded edge cut, but I'll manage somehow. Okay, just need to go a little bit slower. Okay, so now just freehand I'm going to cut around there and around this one, and cut around this one and this one here. Okay, alright, so that is the front. The inside's been covered with just some textbook page. The inside of the back's been covered. Now what I'm going to do, you know what I should have done? I actually should have put this on beforehand, and then I wonder if I can pull that up without making too much of a mess, Wendy. I might be able to. So if your tissue box has got a window opening on it, which a lot of them do, it's a good idea to actually put some plastic, recycled plastic or acetate down on your window before you actually put your backing down. Okay, so a little bit of a mistake there on my part, but I've managed to rip that up, and I'll leave the mistake in because, you know, we all do make mistakes at times. So what I'm going to do now is just put some double-sided tape right to my edge So that can hold my even though I am still going to sew it down. I really should have just put a liquid glue down, but that's okay. My machine will still be able to stitch through this double-sided tape. Might get a little bit tacky and I'll have to wipe my needle, but it will still work, okay? And I don't need that, I might just, might just put some of this down, just over the top. I've got threads hanging off everywhere. Okay, so now I am going to put this down. Just to cover that there. Okay. Pull that over just a bit at the bottom. Because this is just a piece of leftover acetate that I had. And it's a little bit thin, but I've managed to cover both the sides. So now I can just re-stick this down here. And you wouldn't know that I've made a mistake in the first place. Okay, alright, it's on. And I have got my piece of plastic there. I did, the plastic that was on there, I did rip that all off because, as you know, it has like a cut down the middle of it. And so I just ripped that all off and just put another fresh piece down. Where's my... I'm looking for my bone folder. Right, so I'm just going to press that down a bit more. Alright. Okay, so that's easy. That was an easy fix. Alright, I've got my bit of plastic, my bit of acetate in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stitch just around my window part. Okay, I shall be right back. Alrighto, rightio. Now I've done that little bit of stitching around there, and that goes up that way. So what you need to do now is get some type of fabric. I'll just cut that there. Some type of fabric for your spine. So it can be calico. I've got this like, what's this called? Like a burlap type. It's like a soft burlap weave. This one here, I've just used some calico. Alright, and we're going to glue the front and the back onto this, and I'm going to leave about a ½ an inch on the inside of mine. So I really don't need all of this fabric on this side. So I've got about ½ an inch here, a ½ an inch space, and then I want about another ½ an inch there. Just let me see if I can cut that. So I don't really want all of that, so let me see if I can cut some of this on here. Not sure it's going to work, I haven't tried this before. Okay, hold it down and, well, no, but it's given me a nice line that I can just trim along. Okay, so I can cut that off now. Oh, it did cut through in some places. Maybe if I went over it a couple of more times it would have cut all the way through, but that's okay. I got a nice line to cut up there. Alright, so I need to put just some glue. I'll use a wet glue this time on the side that I'm going to place down on my fabric for the spine. Okay. And I'm going to try to make sure that I don't go over my frame, my window. I'm going to try. So just want to place that down there, just like that. Give it a good press. Because, like, as I said before, I'm going to maybe I should have left it a bit longer, but that's okay. That's about 1/4 of an inch now. Okay, so put some glue on this side here. I'll just make the back a little bit smaller than the front. And then just line your paper up and give that a press down. Okay. Oh, and I moved it. I should be using fabric glue, but this will do. Hopefully that'll just stay in place a bit. Now you do need to just add a little bit more strength in this part in here, because you're going to sew your signatures in. So all you have to do really is just get one of your scrap pieces of paper that you use to cover the inside with that, and just put a bit of glue on it, and then just place that down. I've got about 1/4 of an inch on either side of the front, inside and back, okay, of the covers. So that's kind of like just tidied up there, plus it actually gives it a little bit more strength so that you can just sew your signatures in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go back to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch all the way around and then also down on my spine as well. Hopefully that'll all hold together. Okay, this side here's lifting up, so I'm going to sew that first. Alright, I will be back. Okay, I managed to get that all stitched around. My fabric did move just a little bit down here, but that's not going to worry me. Alright, so I'm just going to trim that part of the spine off there. Just tidy up some of this here. I don't mind having a few of the threads hanging out. Okay, so then you can just fold that over. So we've got our spine on our cover, and we can put our signature in there. Alright, so what I was thinking for mine, I'm actually going to use this as my December daily, so it will be themed Christmas. Like, you don't have to have yours themed Christmas. You could just put, I think I put like 10, maybe 15 pages or 10 pages in this one. You could just put like a couple of pages in yours and use it just as like a little scrappy notebook type of thing. But what I want to do is I want to put a pocket over here so that I can put some kind of tag in up at the top, and you'll be able to see an image here. Alright, so for that I think I might actually use a little bit of decorative paper. So I'm going to grab some of my Christmas paper. This is just some Christmas paper. I think that's from, is that a graphic 45? I'm not sure. Yes, it is. Oh, good guess, Wendy. Not that good at remembering what the papers are from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come down a bit. I'm just going to measure the size I want. So I've come down about 1/2 inch on the bottom, and pencil, Wendy, and I'm going to come up about 1/2 inch at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to lay that completely on there, and I'm actually going to come out the same width as the front piece of my cover, because I'm going to fold the sides in. Alright, so I'll quickly cut that. Where did I mark it? There. And there. Alright, so I've got my piece for my pocket. It's actually not quite the same blue as the cover, but you know, it's blue. That'll do for me. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is score about 1/4 inch on either side and down the bottom. Okay, so that is about 3 1/2 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to come in 1/4 inch on this side, right, and turn that around, and I'll just do the same 1/4 inch on that side, and then the bottom, which is going to be down here, I'll come in 1/4 inch too. Alright, so I can fold those. I should have done it the other way, but that's okay. And just grab a little pair of scissors. I'm just going to miter those corners off. Just there. And just there. I think someone's got a problem with their water underneath me. I can hear their pipes. Okay, so I have that there, and I am going to glue that straight down on there. So that's going to be a pocket, and I'll be able to put a nice long tag in there. Alright, so with that there, I might just notch this. So, not a heart on a circle, that one will do. So I'm just going to put a notch in the centre up the top here. And I might give that a bit of a nink. Okay. And that's going to sit right about there. Is that? That's not too high. You can't see the folds on there. And we'll just put some glue here. Maybe I'll use some of this first, I think. Just make it hold a bit better. I've got a little bit of that double-sided tape over the side, so I'm just going to fold that back on itself, and then nothing's going to get caught on it. And I've got a thread caught there already. Gosh, me and my threads. So I'm just going to run my finger down there to make sure nothing else is over. Okay, now I can just put a bit of wet glue on top. I'll put this down. So I want it high enough so that I can't see the window there, but I don't want it too high that you'll see the bottom fold down here. So I think that is about right, guys. There is a nice lovely pocket. So even if you haven't got anything in there, you've just got a decorative pattern showing there, but I'm going to actually put a tag in there. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just go and grab some papers, and they can be any papers at all. So I've got some tea-dyed papers here. I've got a couple of pale blue ones that I can use, and I want, if it's for my December daily, I'm going to need at least 15. Okay, yeah, 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right, 9. I'll get 10 of those. I'm not going to mix it up that much, but I do want to mix it up a little bit. I'll get some music sheet paper. So 1, 2, 3. I might be able to get 2 out of those, so we'll see. Okay. Right. Now, I just need the length. So all I'm going to do for the length is just come down a little bit, grab my pencil, and it's going to have to go about there for my height. Alright, and then with this I'm just going to roughly I could measure it with my ruler, but this, I'm just showing you how I do it. So I think about a little bit smaller. I don't want them quite that. Do you know what you could do? Just put that there to the centre and mark that, and then just fold it there. So then you've got the width of your paper. Okay? Alright. So just to make sure, I will just cut this one down first, and then I can measure it. Okay, so the height is just there. And the width is there. So I'm just going to put that in there just to, and close that over. So look, that is a good width and a good height for that. So mine is, the width is just under 3.5 inches, which is about 8.7 centimetres. That's folded. Alright, if it's not folded, it is 6 3/4, just over 6 3/4. It'd be 6 7/8, which is about 7.5 centimetres. And the height of mine is 7 3/4, which is about 19.6 centimetres. Okay, so that's the size I'm going to be making all my pages. I was just thinking, I was trying or hoping to get, I might be able to get, might have half a page, because I don't like wasting that when I've cut it. So let me just mark that there, make sure. Okay, so it is just under 3, it's 3 7/8 exactly. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cut my papers at. I'll cut a couple at the same time, maybe 3 at the same time. Okay, so the height is, I should write this down, shouldn't I? I've got to write it down, guys, because otherwise my brain blur. Okay, so that is 7 3/4, and open it is 6 7/8. Okay, now I've got it. Okay, so I'll do the height first, which is 6 7/8, just about there. And this is 7 3/4. Did I say? Oh no. Now I've done that wrong already. 7 3/4 is the height, and that's the width. But I'm not going to waste these papers. So 6 7/8, 6 7/8. I'm just going to have these ones a bit shorter than the other ones. But it's all right. Like, you can just even put in like scrappy papers. They don't have to be the same height or anything. So let me try again and see if I can not stuff it up. 1, 2, 3. It's the rainy weather. I'll blame it on that. Okay, so the width is 6 7/8. All right. That's the width, and the height is 7 3/4. 7 3/4, which, yeah, that's a bit better because I only have to cut off a little bit, don't I? Okay, so fold that way. Alright, these last 4. So the width 6 7/8, just there, and the height is 7 3/4, just there. That'll do. All right, and let me see. I'll just put these together. Oh, I did want another music sheet, didn't I? Okay, so I might do the height, that one. The height is 7 3/4. And the width is 6 7/8. There. Okie doke. So that will go that way. Alright, now I'm going to just put my papers together as soon as I clean off a little bit of mess. Okay, so we've got those, that goes up that way, that up that way. Alright, we'll do blue, white, that one. Blue, little one, and that this one, because that's a bit smaller. Then we'll put that there, that one, that. I am planning on trying to keep this as thin as possible when I start working in it in December. Otherwise I would split these up and have 2 signatures, but I think I can actually get away with just the one signature. Okay, so that is in there. I've got my pages all ready to go. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's 26. 13 is 26, and I'd need another 5 pages for my December daily. So all I'm going to do, these off-cut bits here, I'm just going to fold them over. So 1, 2, I'd rather have 1 page or 2 pages more than what I actually need. Okay, so I've got them, and I'll just cut that at the width, which is just about, might do that a little bit smaller there. Okay, so yep, that's good. Okay, just there, like that. And I'll just add these somewhere throughout here, like there. And maybe that one there, and I'll do that one there. Alright, so I think I have enough pages for December now. And now all I'm going to do is just lay that up against there, press it nice and firmly up near the center of my spine. I will open that up again, and I'll grab some clips. Oh, I'll do that again. I have to open this with two hands. Grab a few clips. Now, okay, that's nice and firm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip this side here on just the papers, okay, and now I'm going to push it in to where the center of my spine is, okay, and hold that just like that, and I'm going to clip the cover and the pages together on this side. Alright, so that's the front. I've clipped the pages and my cover there, and I've just clipped these pages here because I just find that that's easier to work with. And all I'm going to do is get my pokey tool and just eyeball the center, poke a hole all the way through, okay, in the center, and then come up about an inch from the bottom and poke another hole all the way through. It's a bit hard with the fabric sometimes because I've just caught that one there, but I'm going to keep going. And then up here I come about an inch down, about the same distance, come down and just poke another hole. Well, and that went right through then. Okay, so grab some thread. So I'm just going to do 2 pulls, cut my thread, grab a needle, which I should have already had out, but I just didn't think. Come on. Okay, I've got a needle, and just thread. Oh, I've got 2 needles. Wow, that was a good idea, wasn't it? I only need 1. Okay, and thread my needle. Now I'm just going to go through the center, then on this side here go in at the top, pull it nice, and then go straight down to the bottom hole, and then in the center I am going to go back in the middle and try not to catch the thread that's already gone through there. And I've got these 2 threads here on either side of the middle one going down, okay? So I'm just going to give that a little pull. I can take these off now. And I can take my needle off. So I'm just going to give that just a little pull so that it's nice and firm, and just do a couple of knots. 1, oops, 1, 2, and then I can cut these. I might leave these a little bit longer because I might put something on the ends of them. Okay guys, so that's it. That is your little slim journal with a pocket, window pocket front. Okay, just going to I didn't ink around my edges, and I do actually like to put a little bit of ink on them sometimes. And you can see here I've actually left the cover as the image that was on the tissue box. I think that looks rather cool. Alright, so that's how easy it is to make a little slim journal out of a tissue box. Put my needles back in there. So, and I know like this might get a little bit full by the time I'm finished with it, but just to hold it shut, you could always just grab a little bit of seam binding, a little bit of ribbon, some twine, and just tie around it. So they're my pages inside my journal, and I'm going to be using this for my December daily prompts. Our junk journal challenge for November is to make yourself a slim journal out of a tissue box. So I've got that one there and that one there. That was the front section of the tissue box, and this here was the back section of the tissue box. And I like leaving that pattern open there. I think I could have made this a little bit shorter here. So that's our junk journal challenge for November. Ooh, I'm going to be testing you now, but look, you just seen me make it, and it really is an easy process, guys. Okay, if you don't want to put paper down on the inside, you could put another piece of fabric, and you can decorate it any way you want. So this one here will actually be decorated in a Christmas theme. You could, if you don't like your tissue box, you can cover it, but I actually do like the design on my tissue box. I actually could have cut that a little bit thinner because it is wide, and I did go crooked down here. It kind of like slipped on my sewing machine, but you know, by the time I put like a little Christmas image here, or maybe one up here, you're not going to notice it that much anyway. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this challenge. This is, you know, I wanted to try and do something just a little bit different for you. And it's like, and still using up, like recycling something. So we're actually recycling the tissue box and not just making a tag or a card out of it, but actually having it for the cover of our journals. And like I showed you here, it is so easy just to put a pocket on there. I actually don't have a thin tag, do I? That would fit in there. Normally I do have a heap sitting up here, but I don't think this one. Oh look, that one would just fit in. So look, there you go. Oh wow, look how cool that would be. Mine will actually be Christmas themed, but yeah, I think that looks really nice, and that pocket is so easy just to put on there. Okay, alright, so that's it, guys. All the information will be in our events section in our Crafty Patch on Facebook, and anyone is more than welcome to come over and join our group. We have got some lovely ladies there. It's not just necessarily Australian ladies. We have got some absolutely gorgeous, wonderfully talented overseas ladies in there as well. And we just thrive on getting inspired by everybody else's work that they put in there. Alright, okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I will put the prompts for December daily if you want to join along. I know December gets very busy, But sometimes you just, you know, want to chill out and, you know, just do a little bit of crafting. And, you know, with the December daily prompts, I really, really enjoy doing them. Okay, it gives me that me time that I need in like a busy, hectic season. Okay, a bit of chill out time. Alright, so that's it guys. I've got 2 there for you. So have a go at it. Get out a tissue box, find one that you really like. You can cover it or not cover it. I chose not to on this one, and I covered the back part on this one. Okay, and you know, just remember to have fun with it guys. Alright, you all have a great day and I will catch you later. Bye bye.